Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sanjukta Speaks, my YouTube channel. Uh, Today, I would love to talk about how to find your unique voice as a poet. As many of you know, that I love and I enjoy writing poetry. So today, my focus is not on career development, but I would love to see um, and exchange ideas with you about how it's important as an author who loves to write poetry to figure out what my poetic voice is like. To start with, when we're talking about a poetic voice, um, I would like to clarify that I refer to the unique and the distinctive tone, the personality that a poet conveys through his or her writing. It is that individualistic expression, the perspective of every poet that sets the poet apart from others. Just like our fingerprint, each poet's voice is inherently different and something very personal because it reflects experiences, emotions, and deep beliefs. So, a poetic voice is the soul of a poet, the soul of a poet on the page, because it's a unique and distinctive expression that sets them apart, in the realm of writing, in the realm of words. And it does include a lot of subtle things like style, like the tone, like the, emotional resonance that is forged by personal experiences, observations, and beliefs. Um, I can definitely vouch about this from my personal experience because every time I have attempted to write, I have published my, books on prose poetry. Um, the genre I chose was, of course, prose poetry, and I've seen that as a poet, I yield to a language exactly the same way as an artist um, yields a brush. You know, uh, my voice emerges reflecting my deepest passions, deepest understandings, deepest vulnerabilities of life. And just like a musical journey or a musical melody, I feel that even the poetic voice, the poet's expression has its own journey. It evokes emotions, it evokes thoughts, and it evokes feelings on the reader, uh, leaving a deep mark. And in this exploration of the poetic voice, I personally have seen that I had to unravel the intricacies of understanding an artistic identity. I did. Um, I had to sit and understand uh, what am I trying to forge in my style of writing, in my messaging, um, in my way to convey the thought that I want to convey to my reader. So understanding the essence of a poetic voice unlocks the power of any authors, poets, self-expression, enabling the poet to share their truth, their perspectives, and inviting readers to embark on a very intimate journey through the realm of verses. And, to begin the voyage of that creative exploration, I would say that, aspiring poets must draw inspiration from, yes, from their personal experiences, from the memories that they carry, from the emotions that are attached to it, uh, because that is the reservoir for their writing experience. Each of our lives has like diverse encounters and emotions waiting to be woven into poetic expressions. So reflecting on and not only the joyous moments, that dance like sunlight on water, but also revisiting those sad times, revisiting the sorrows that paint the sky with shades of dusk has also been my uh, journey. So, with the mundane, the extraordinary, the simple, the trivial, the exalted, in everything lies the seed of a poet's voice. And this is absolutely something that I have been discovering the more I write. And I see that it is evolving. As I keep emerging, I see that it is evolving. It's not the same as when I had started writing. So being mindful that poetic voice is also about changing, because our persona is going through changes. It is bound to, reflect in our voice. So definitely, um, if you are someone like me, who has just started writing for a couple of years, I would say reading widely, reading voraciously is an extremely important companion on this quest. By immersing oneself in the verses of diverse poets, one gains insight into different styles, into different themes, into different perspectives. And that itself is a huge support system to get started with your own voice. It is through the immersion that the fertile ground for one's poetic expression, uh, is going to blossom. So please, I would definitely request you to explore the realms of various poetic forms, because each encounter with another poet's work has been such a discovery for me. A new facet of the boundless world of poetry has uh, opened up every time I've picked up a book and read. So, yes, the key to finding your authentic voice is to to draw inspiration, but also to be very mindful and resist the allure of imitation. While it is very, very, natural to be inspired by masters, or other great writers, but we need to be mindful that our true artistic identity is born from within. So it is very important to resist the temptation to mimic, your poetic voice to with somebody else's thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Being authentic, I think, plays a huge role in creating your own poetic voice. And if you ask me that what are the several elements we need to be mindful when we are creating this voice, I think the style and the language plays a very key role. You know, how you're using the language, what are the crafts are you using in your verses, and I think the overall tone impacts your work. So, yes, that I would also say themes and subjects play a very important role. What are the topics? What are the themes you are exploring in order to contribute towards your poetic voice? I have also um, seen that the emotional tone, the emotional resonance of a poet's work defines the true poetical emotional tone of the work. So, yes, that's a very important component. Mm, Imagery, symbolism plays a very, very important role in shaping a poet's voice. But absolutely, I think the authenticity and the perspective um, are the two pillars of any poetic expression, because that defines your individual viewpoint. And to not forget that being consistent is a huge component in this evolutionary journey. So, thank you so much, viewers. I definitely would say that the poetic voices of several have influenced my learning. I would definitely love to say that Sylvia Plath's voice had a role in my understanding and using, you know, words and how to give a form to raw impressions. She played a role. I definitely want to say that Robert Frost had also characterized my thinking with his simplicity and accessibility as well. His poems explored a lot of um, truths about rural life, nature, and philosophical themes. And I simply loved reading it in order to understand where I want to see myself. And of course, my all-time favorite, Maya Angelou, um, plays an important role in in trying to understand how my poetic voice is going to look like, because I have been reading her work, which is so empowering, so uplifting, and so inspiring. Of course, there are many, many more others that I would love to talk about, but these were the names that came to my mind right away, because I truly believe that in order to create our own poetic voice, we need to explore the realm of other poets whom we hold with a lot of reverence and a lot of admiration. So, yes, if you are someone who is exploring the realm of writing poetry, don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate. Start reading other works so that you are able to figure out what your own voice is going to sound like. And it's time that you gift the world with your words. It's time to put things aside and create your own legacy of writing poetry. Thank you so much, and I wish to be back soon. I will again talk to you more about my writing journey, because I look forward to inspiring you to start writing. This is Sanjukta Das signing off from Sanjukta Speaks. See you soon again.